Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made.
Listen up, Autobots and Decepticons. You're listening to Prime Cuts, a non-linear history of the Transformers franchise on television. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey.
I'm your other host, Nero.
And we have another special guest with us tonight. Want to introduce yourself?
Oh, absolutely. And first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show, Audrey. You were an absolute pleasure to be on our SWAT episode. We actually just, sorry, to introduce myself, my name is David. I am from the Shonen Flop podcast. We are, should I keep going into it, or?
I mean, so we had Jordan on a couple weeks ago.
Oh, well, yeah.
But if there's anything you'd like to talk about it, by all means.
Yeah, just if you didn't hear from when Jordan was on, my better half, Shonen Flop is a podcast that looks at lesser-known shonen manga that ran in Shonen Jump that didn't do so well. A lot of these are a bunch of stinkers. We've had a really awesome time. Audrey was on our SWAT episode. Fun fact, Audrey, before he made SWAT, the offer of SWAT made Zon, which may be the worst drawn thing that ever was run in Shonen Jump. That's a fun fact.
Jordan,
so you actually...
Jordan did mention, yes, Zon.
I stole my... Jordan always is stealing all of my
Stolen
material.
valor.
Son of a gun. Well, here's a fun fact. You can find our latest episode on Duran, because Jordan didn't know it was scheduled at the time of this recording, with the wonderful Megan from the Volume 1 podcast. So that should be out by the time you're listening to this episode.
Is that
Awesome.
a manga about the adventures of, 80s band Duran?
So
but also,
I made
a
that
third
joke.
version of
It's
them?
actually a JoJo's offshoot.
Yes, it is, actually. It's actually, yeah, and it's actually in the same cinematic universe as Doran. Or sorry, wow, Don. There we go. Sorry, this is
yeah.
this is what happens. It's been a long day. It's 8:45 my time. I don't know about you, Audrey. What time zone Queens is in?
So how is it related?
Every borough is in a separate time zone.
How is it related to Durarara? I assume all of these are connected somehow.
They are,
yes.
And,
yes, it's part
and Dororo, all also connected.
And Dorohedoro.
Yep.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
All part of the same, the DCU, the D Cinematic Universe.
The Onomatopoeia universe.
And also Bobobo.
Uh-huh.
Bo.
But we're not here to talk about any of those fine
No.
programs. We're here to talk about Transformers Animated episodes 8 and 9.
Well, first, before we get into
that's
that, David, what is your history with the Transformers franchise?
So I would say most children definitely was pretty into Transformers from the ages of 8 to 12. And then unlike most children, I was really into Transformers from the ages of 12 to 30, which is my current age. So I've quite enjoyed it. I haven't been up to date with as much. I know that you previously covered Prime, which I actually watched that entire series, and I was a really big fan of it. Animated was kind of in this weird spot where I guess I was just a little too old to be watching it when it aired, but I can definitely get into my thoughts. I've also read some of the Transformers comics, More Than Meets the Eye is just a fantastic Transformers comic, and I just love that first chapter, or first issue. That's been reading too much manga. So
Nero and
yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
We never
talk about it.
We never talk about that series at all. And we certainly don't talk about it for upwards of 15-minute tangents.
Yeah, for a podcast that is about the Transformers franchise on television, we sure do talk about stuff that's not on television a lot.
I love it. I also want to give a shout out to the Transformers wiki I just love how all of the images have really stupid captions.
For being the funniest fandom wiki out there, yeah.
It's the only good fandom wiki.
Yes.
Stan.
Have you tried reaching out to see if you can get the guy who runs it to come on the show?
Not
No.
yet.
But it's a thought.
One day,
We
Chris
do have-
McFeely will be here.
We do have some crispy fans, crispy guest stars lined up for later seasons. But
Oh, yes.
That's so exciting. I'm
Yeah.
so glad to hear that.
Yeah, this is animated, different beasts from Prime, and this pairing of episodes really does feature one of my favorite, the duality of animated here, where the first episode we're talking about is, once again, it's just a Teen Titans episode. Straight up super villain doing super villain stuff. And then the next episode is, hey kids, do you like body horror and intense trauma? Well, come on in.
Do you have a transformation fetish? Now you don't.
No. So
if you
yes,
did, now you don't.
I really want to get to the second episode, so let's go ahead and speed. Get it? Through episode 8.
I get it. We're zooming along.
Nanosec.
Really good energy we're bringing here tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's about how much energy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm here with it.
So Nanosec. I just Googled Nanosec to bring up the TF Wiki, but I didn't add anything to it. So I just Googled Nanosec. Once again, we're firing on all the cylinders tonight.
Yes, that's a good start. Will you also be wikiing the word spider for the second episode?
Right,
Yes.
yeah. It starts off with a petty criminal avoiding a police drone, which is as effective at its job as an actual police officer.
Yeah, I was about to say, these fucking police drones are dumb as a bag of hammers. So basically the same.
Now I understand all the fan zone and everyone else being like, they're gonna take our jobs. Yeah, they're doing as good a job as they can. So
it is. Like, why pay all of these dumb shitty policemen salaries when we can just have dumb shitty cop bots who we don't have to pay?
Yeah, I noticed there's actually quite a bit of propaganda in this series.
Oh yes,
and I was a little, especially when one of the characters is straight up a cop.
All of them technically
Prowl's
are.
a cop.
Yeah,
no,
Prowl,
he's the cop of cops.
Although, funnily
Prowl's
enough,
a cop with a capital C.
Prowl is like the least cop-ish of the
version
despite being
of,
an actual,
of the character,
and also being
That's
the only
true.
one who is an actual police vehicle. Okay, well, technically, Bumblebee is also a police vehicle, but only by property of him being the chief's car that he scanned. But he's not actually Fanzone's car. No.
He's his own independent being. He just scanned Fanzone's car.
He's a strong, independent vehicle.
He's a copy of Fanzone's car, which does keep getting destroyed repeatedly throughout the series.
Oh, jeez.
I will say, though, that, like, to that point, we get Prowl's hollow form later in this episode, and when I saw it, I was like, oh, he's a cop.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And although I will say his holoform avatar does have just as impressive of a chin as he does. So
Kind of looks like Uncle Grandpa.
he kind of does.
Okay. They took that off HBO Max, so it was very sad.
Yeah.
I thought it was
took
the only
everything.
one. Yeah, I was like about to say they Thanos snapped everything off of there.
Anyway, this cop is failing to catch a petty criminal because it jumps on his head, which is, if you play any GTA game, you will know is the police officer's weak spot.
Yeah.
And he manages to get away, but then Bumblebee sort of like swooses right in.
Well, it's so funny because, first of all, let's set the scene here. This is all taking place during a fireworks show, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's robbing some kind of dock warehouse. Also, this normal petty criminal, please ignore that he is voiced by Brian Posen, yet another like character actor that we're putting into the show. He's not a character. His name isn't Nino Sexton.
What?
Yeah.
Nanosec's real name is Nino Sexton.
It's true. And fun fact, he is voiced by acclaimed comedian Brian Posehn
Brian Posehn.
of the Mr. Show fame.
Who I believe also wrote a little bit of Deadpool back in the day.
Really?
The fucking Yu-Gi-Oh character name.
He is.
This is the
It
school
is.
of name generation.
So yeah, but it's even funnier than Bumblebee swoosing in. Bumblebee is like sitting on the docks running with his door open, and Sexton just goes like, oh man, some guys are really stupid, I'll just get into this free getaway car. And then Bumblebee like basically toys with him like a cat for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, the one thing I want to say is that like he's like, I should just take you in, but I'm feeling a little funny. I'm feeling a little naughty.
Yeah.
So go ahead, try to run. And so Nino Sexton runs in the other direction, and before he can take like 5 steps, Bumblebee's there, because as we know, Bumblebee's big thing is being small and fast.
Yes.
And when he gets there this time, he just goes, denied.
Yeah. this goes on for a bit, and then Bulkhead rolls up and just goes, "Hey, can you fucking stop? Can you just arrest him already? I want to watch the fireworks."
I honestly would have thought that there would have been a concern that like the fireworks were triggering the PTSD of given all the wars some of them have been in, but
these guys have not been in wars.
Yeah, only one of them on Earth has ever experienced any of the war.
You're right.
Yeah. Ratchet is the only one who was actually in the war.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget which series have where Optimus is old and weathered versus because like in Prime he's been through fucking all of it.
Yeah, and I mean in this he's not even leader of the Autobots. He's just leader of this particular band of idiots. But yeah, while they're arguing, Sexton tries to escape, and Bulkhead like slams his wrecking ball down in front of him, just like basically like, "Hey, don't go anywhere. We're still talking," which causes the dock they're standing on to completely collapse and dump Bulkhead and Bumblebee in the drink.
Bulkhead, I needed that.
Bulkhead, the city of Detroit needed that.
It's just I don't know why, but I find it so funny that they said it in real life Detroit.
Yeah.
Because like most of these sorry, Audrey.
All of these shows are set in like debatably real life places.
I don't think Jasper, Nevada is real, but Armada was set in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Yeah,
that's pretty great.
Yeah, Armada's set in Lincoln, Nebraska. G1 set in Portland, Oregon.
Is it? That's amazing.
Yeah. We talked about this. Yeah. Sparkplug has his shop is in downtown Portland. So, Jasper, Nevada isn't necessarily a real place, but there's so many towns that are basically Jasper, Nevada.
Nevada is spiritually real.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. It's Reno to me.
So Sexton is like dangling from the dock, and Optimus picks him up, and he has the classic Optimus line of, "Hey, I'm new here, but I'm pretty sure you're supposed to pay for those things before you run off with them."
This episode is some of the angriest I think we've seen Optimus get.
He's
he
very
hates
mad.
This guy.
He fucking, who can blame him? Nanosec's a piece of shit. Speaking of pieces of shit, Megatron he's not happy with how the state of things are going, considering he is still ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, some decks going on about new technology and this like new technology he's developing, and Megatron's like, "Oh, that sounds awesome. I need it." And some decks like, "Yeah, no can do, BossBot." And Megatron's like, "Unacceptable." And there's just like a pause, and some deck looks at him and goes, "So I'm getting some kind of evil vibes from you right now. Why don't we ask your nice friends for help?"
He's like, "Oh no, I couldn't stand for them to see me in such a state. No, I'll be fine." So he tells Sumdac that he needs destronium circuitry for his body. First of all, destronium is a reference to the Japanese name for the Decepticons in G1, which were the Destrons. I don't think that is a name that's used in most modern media anymore, though. I think they're just the Decepticons.
It was used in Armada.
That's right, it was. So I think around this time is when they swapped over to the Decepticons, I believe. But yeah, so he needs destronium circuitry for his body, but some DAC informs are like, well, where you come from, maybe that's a very common element, but we literally only have like one canister of this stuff on Earth, and also it's so volatile that we can't move it. So gotta do something else.
The only thing, and he's like, well, I mean, I guess if you got it here in less than 10 minutes, but no one can move that fast.
Or can they?
Yeah.
I kind of was like, all right. I know this is for kids, but did you really have to show the super speed suit in the scene right before this conversation?
No, it's actually in the scene after this conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, is it right after?
Yeah,
oh, my.
There's a scene between these.
Still, I was like, did it really have to be that close
I
together?
thought it was pretty funny that because I think it's honestly all kind of all rightly seated of like Megatron noticing this fucking ridiculous invention that Sumdac is testing. Going like, say.
Hold on, is there a second, friend?
I do love it. So we do get this scene of the testing, and it's going horribly wrong.
It's so bad.
The guy
This dude's gonna have a fucking like neck fracture.
Yeah, so this technology is like a super speed suit, basically. And it's in like it's being tested in like a roller derby rink, basically. And it is out of control. And the guys are like, some of the scientists are like, Professor Sumdac, our test subject is dying. And Sumdac's like, this isn't about him.
This is about science.
Yeah,
isn't the test subject drowning? This isn't about him.
This is when Sumdac says the thing about having to get there in under 10 minutes. But between then and now, we check in at the Autobot base where Prime is giving Bumblebee a little bit of a chewing out for his fucking shitty behavior earlier. It's like, listen, if you just arrested the guy, stop. You fuck around too much. So I'm gonna send you on a training day with Prowl and Bulkhead.
Do you know that like screenshot from RuneScape of the guy going, I'm begging you, for once in your life, think before you speak?
Yes, that is Prime throughout this entire episode.
Yeah.
And Bumblebee's like, oh man, I don't want to go training. Me and Sorry, we're gonna test out some insanely dangerous new prototypes her dad made.
Oh right, no, this is the part, right, where Sorry's like, all of my dad's stuff is perfectly safe, and then it cuts over to this test.
Yes. Yeah, so basically Sumdac has apparently made Bumblebee these fucking thrusters. At least I assume he made these specifically for Bumblebee, because they have his color scheme.
Yeah, it's oddly convenient how that is.
And Bumblebee is like, all right, Ratchet, fucking put these things on me. He's like, no, I'm not going to do that. As your chief medical officer, I cannot recommend grafting untested, possibly incompatible technology to your fucking body.
But Sorry's like, I don't have that problem.
Just,
yeah, what are you, a nerd?
Yeah, stop being such a wuss, Ratchet. Fucking put these body mods on me.
Test in production.
I liked you better when you were being traumatized by war memories.
Jeez.
I liked you better when Lance Henriksen was trying to gut you like a fish. Yeah, so we get the speed suit thing. We cut over to Nino Sexton, who suddenly makes bail and gets a package from a weird robot outside, and guess what? It's the speed suit.
I kind of wonder if Megatron had to like look and understand what bail was.
I assume
like,
so.
So he just had to like fucking check like Detroit bail systems, bail like a bail bonds.
I mean, he knows what a credit card is later, so like I assume he's
hooked up to the internet.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything to do other than learn shit about Earth at this point.
That's fair.
He can't do anything else.
And you gotta imagine that he has those really fast upload speeds.
Oh yeah, it's like you can just like fucking read the whole internet in like 15 minutes or whatever. He knows everything now. So we kind of see Bulkhead.
He knows
and Prowl.
about QAnon. My God.
No, he's actually Q.
He's
oh, that's been all of it from us today, folks.
Yeah,
All
we gotta leave it right now.
That's about the best line I'm going to say this entire episode. Let's move on to...
So Bulkhead and Prowl are hanging out with Bumblebee, and Prowl is trying his damnedest to be like, okay, listen, sometimes you don't want to go as fast as possible. And Bumblebee says, that sounds fucking fake. Shut up. Why would I not want to go as fast as humanly possible at all
Have you
times?
never watched Sonic the Hedgehog? What's wrong with you?
I live by those 3 words. Gotta go fast. And then of course they get immediately stuck in a traffic jam. So Prowl goes like, what if you can't go fast? What about that, huh?
And Bumblebee's like, scope this shit. Illegally drives on the shoulder.
Yeah, well, because he sees a bunch of cops in the shoulder chasing someone, and he's like, ooh, hang on, let me impersonate a police officer real quick.
But isn't he kind of actually a cop, though?
I mean, the Autobots are not employed by the city of Detroit. They are just honored guests.
They are vigilantes.
They are vigilantes. They're simply vigilantes who are, like, approved of.
Yeah, they are publicly supported vigilantes, but they are vigilantes. They do not answer to any higher... form of governance, and there's nothing to hold them accountable.
They have diplomatic immunity.
There is no Autobot commission.
There is not. So yeah, Bumblebee is in pursuit, and we see that Nino Sexton has robbed a bank in record time because he's got the speed suit. And much like Grimlock last week, we get someone saying, "Oh my God, that guy robbed the bank in a nanosec," and he goes, "Nanosec, eh? I like it."
I have an origin story now.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So Bumblebee tries to catch up to him, but for once, oh no, I love this actually. He doesn't catch up to him; he runs into him.
Yeah,
because like they run into each other. And they do the fucking Spider-Man
yeah.
pointing meme, and Bumblebee goes like, "Hey, wait a minute! You're that guy."
Well, they
from
both
last
do
night."
at the exact same time. They say "you again."
Yep. And then that's when Nanosec runs, and Bumblebee tries to pursue him.
Eventually, he's actually caught by Prowl.
Yep.
Yes.
Because Prowl understands that sometimes it's best to not simply try to outrun your opponent and actually use some kind of like strategy.
And
Yeah,
in
ninja stars.
And in a similar way to Prowl's previous behavior, coming very close to breaking some uncomfortable boundaries, when he captures him, you can see that Nanosec is like thinking of getting out, and Prowl just looks at him and goes, "Stay," like
That's
a
right,
dog.
He steps on him.
Yeah, and then says, "Stay," like a dog. What is wrong with you?
But this Prowl's got some shit going on. I don't know.
Prowl's that girl who had a crush on another girl in her school and didn't know how to deal with it, so
Yes.
she told her to wrote her a letter to leave.
This is get out of my school. Yep.
Get out of my school.
By the way, just in case you're wondering, we were already getting a little bit of the like foreshadowing for the eventual twist here with Nanosec
Sorry.
looking a little tired.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so if at some point Bumblebee fucks this whole situation up and knocks Prowl over and allows Nanosec to escape, because of course he does.
And he's going so fast that for the first time he hears something. And what he hears is, "It's me, boy, the PS5." No,
I need you to go to the store and get me some Destronium.
Listen to me. I'm speaking directly into your ear.
I wonder if that's actually why PS5s are so hard to find. They're made out of destronium.
That's right. We should not forget to mention, however, Bumblebee almost getting murdered by a train.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Which is like, also, why don't you just transform and walk off the track?
I think he forgets he can transform. This happens several times.
Yeah,
in the episode.
later we see he does forget about that, so I think he is just very stupid.
Well, there is also another reason later on, which I will give them.
Yeah, but I think it's like he just gets too focused about his vehicle mode, and Bulkhead
Like,
manages.
sir, you have legs.
Bulkhead manages to stop the train. This is when Nanosec starts getting the high frequency message, and Megatron's like, "All right, here's the deal.
To help the Autobots save the world, we need the last 4 digits of your mom's credit card and the 3 numbers on the back."
Yeah, so he tells her, "All right, listen, I need you to go steal a thing from this lab and bring it here in under 10 minutes." And Nanosec's like, "Well, I don't know.
Nanosec's like, "I'm not doing shit for no one unless
you pay
there's
me."
money."
And so then Megatron literally brings up some Dex credit card.
It's so funny. Also, Megatron, before he does this, Megatron's like, "I'm the one who bailed you out." And Nanosec's like, "Cool, it sounds like you're a sucker."
Damn.
Basically. Like, "I'm not doing anything for you just because of that." And Megatron's
Yeah.
like, "That's cool. How about this guy's entire fortune?"
Yeah, and some Dex fucking loaded. He's a fucking billionaire, probably.
Yeah. Though with the rate inflation's going at this point, who knows what that'll look like in 30 years.
And the amount of settlements he's had to fucking pay out to all of the, like, colossal accidents that have happened under his watch.
I don't know. He's besties with the police department. I'm sure he, well, I won't finish that sentence.
Fan Zone breaks a few kneecaps for him from time to time.
Oh, my.
Although, you know what? I don't think he's bested with the police department because of the incident with the captain's wife.
What?
I mean, a robot fucked Fanzone's wife. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I thought it was something important happened.
No. A robot just cuckolded the chief of police.
And now
I
he
mean,
hates,
right.
and this is why he hates machines.
But I still think he's besties because he still chose him over Meltdown.
That's true.
Even with that.
So yeah, but Nanosec takes the job. He grabs the strontium and starts running. We see Bumblebee desperately trying to run time trials back at base and just not being able to beat his best time.
I like how he has the exact same time every single run, which makes sense because he's literally a robot.
Yeah, like he's a car. He has a top speed. And Optimus comes in and is like, all right, idiots, we gotta go stop Nanosec. He just robbed a research lab. Everyone roll out except you, Bumblebee.
You suck.
Stay here.
And don't break anything for the love of Christ.
Don't break anything, and do not graft any untested technology onto your ass. And then Sorry goes,
He didn't say anything about my shoulders.
yeah, and then Sorry goes, well, what, you don't need Ratchet to do that. You have someone else who can meld technology to your body. Which,
I have. Oh, this is something else as well that earlier in the episode, I can't remember what she was doing, but she was using the key on something very insignificant, and Optimus was like, sorry, that's not a toy.
That's next episode.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Next episode is when she's doing pranks with it. This is the first time she uses the key.
You're right.
Yeah, the next episode is the one with the lesson about not using the key for stupid shit, despite this episode.
Yeah, the next episode is the one about not using the key to torture someone with arachnophobia.
Yeah, so...
yeah, that was a spicy one.
So, Nanosec is, he's skating down the road, he's got his Destronium, and then Prime takes a big old liquid dump on the road.
Yeah.
Why does this keep happening? Why does this keep coming
we're
up?
the ones
When you
who keep
become an
making the
Autobot
joke.
of a certain age.
Okay, but look at the quote-unquote low-friction lubricant.
I know, it's a big wet shit.
I was a little confused why he didn't tie him up while he was still standing on the low friction, because he takes him out of the low friction zone to talk to him, which promptly lets him run away.
What do you want him to use? The cum cannon?
Yes. I thought it was that kind of show. I expect a regular amount of cum and piss in every Transformers episode.
I'm saying that Optimus does have a cum cannon that he has used before.
And he does.
I gotta rewatch this whole show.
There is a line in next episode that really makes you wonder if the people writing this show understood that he does indeed have a cum cannon. But before we get to that, yeah, he ties Nanosec up after he is out of the lubricant, which allows Nanosec to start giving Optimus the fucking AT-AT treatment.
Yes.
And Optimus again.
Not quite as successfully, because two legs is still harder to topple over than four when bound tightly together, but same concept.
Yeah, AT-AT doesn't have arms to deal with that. Optimus, however, does, and he severs his own cabling here. And then the Nanosec starts whipping him with the cable.
I thought it was interesting. I noticed in both episodes, the animation's not that great. And then there's a 10-second scene where you see where they spent their budget. And in this one, I think it was the whipping scene where he spun. And I was like, this is really well drawn for some reason.
I generally think the animation on the show is pretty good. I guess maybe it's because we spent so long watching Armada.
Yeah, anything compared to Armada is not going to be so hot.
Listen, David, the show has animation, which is
Yes.
way more than we've been used to.
Certainly there are episodes that look better than others. This one is mostly middling.
But
there have
nothing
been
looks as good as G1 is gonna.
Oh boy.
I'm staring directly into the camera. G1 is gorgeous.
I hope everyone's ready for animation errors galore. But yeah, so yeah, this whipping is very lovingly animated, I will say. Whatever that means. Meanwhile, yeah, we see Bumblebee with the fucking thrusters hooked up, and Sorry plugs the key in, and they both join the cast of Redline briefly.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good movie.
It is. I want to talk about some fucking animation. That
was 6 years hand drawn.
To be fair, that is the only thing Redline has going for it. I like Redline, but it's not.
I like the soundtrack.
I think the soundtrack
it's not
is
a
good.
well-written.
No,
movie.
I don't think you come for the plot. I think you come for the style.
No, sure. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that if that's what you come for, it better be good.
Yeah. Mm. So Prime manages to like chop up his cable some more, so he stops getting his ass whipped, and then he gets bowled over by an out of control Bumblebee because guess what? He can't turn the thrusters off.
So it needs to be said that not only at this point has, Optimus freed himself, but he has.
Oh yeah, he has him in his grasp. He has
Nanosec. He's taken care of the issue, and he's so angry again. He's like, "Sir, have you learned nothing from the last time we spoke?" And then Bumblebee comes barreling down, and both Optimus and Sawyer are like, "Can't you turn this off?"
It's like we didn't think to figure out if there was a way to turn this off when we installed it.
Yeah, so
We were so busy wondering if we could.
Optimus gets knocked on his ass, and Bumblebee and Sari are careening towards a bridge outage.
And Nanosec is gone.
He's out of there. He's fucking hoofing it. Prime grapples onto Bumblebee to prevent him from careening off the edge of a bridge. However, he's slowly getting dragged down with them. And Sari goes, "Hey, can you fucking go in reverse?" And Bumblebee goes, "Hey, why didn't I think of that?" And then when he goes in reverse, the thrusters also go in reverse.
And Optimus gets double pancaked.
Yeah, he gets hit again. He gets like tire tracks on his face this time.
Yeah, he gets Looney Tunes hit this time.
Yeah. So we cut over to Nanosec. He's still getting he's getting older. He looks like he's looking older. He's like out of breath. And he gets caught by Ratchet, Prowl, and Bulkhead. Ratchet grabs him with his fucking magnets, and in the process his helmet falls off and reveals so before he had a big ginger pompadour.
Again, a Teen Titans villain.
He literally looks like Mad Mod.
This reminded me a lot of Teen Titans, actually.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the same crew from Teen Titans worked on this show.
Ah, that makes sense then.
But now that beautiful red hair has become this haggard gray mop of hair, and Bulkhead goes, "Didn't you used to be a redhead?"
New from M. Night Shyamalan. Shoes that make you old.
I didn't realize the beach that made you old was actually a reference to his movie. I thought that was just some really stupid idea that just became meta.
No, it's Beach That Makes You Old.
It's a real movie.
Beach That Makes You Old and Shoes That Make You Old.
Shoes that make you old. So Ratchet,
the shoe shining. There you go.
Ratchet scans this canister and goes, "Oh, fucking hell, this is Destronium," and he has been going so fast that it is all agitated and might take out the entire half of the entire fucking city. So we need to figure that problem out. Thankfully, well, no, not thankfully. Unfortunately, Bumblebee chooses this time to bust through. And
he keeps doing this.
And yet again, Nanosec squirrels away. And he is he's orbiting around this group, going "Oh my god, help me, please, I can't stop."
Well, my favorite thing is that he's orbiting around them, and he's like, "Okay, I admit it.
Yes.
Maybe not my best idea."
And Ratchet just goes, "Have you tried transforming into robot mode?" And Bumblebee goes, "Oh.
Have you tried turning it on and off again?"
Yep. And he transforms, and it works. Both Sari and Bumblebee just go "Why the fuck didn't we think of that? Are we stupid?"
Yes, that's the answer.
Optimus arrives, looking worse for wear, and he goes, "Okay, we're all gonna go and pursue Nanosec in our normal vehicle modes." Glaring at Bumblebee.
Yeah, very pointedly.
Fucking, yes. He is pissed off. While they're driving down the road, Bulkhead kind of mutters to himself. He wonders maybe if the Destronium turned his hair white. And Prowl goes "Well, no, white hair in humans is usually a function of aging." And Bumblebee hears that and goes, "Wait a minute, I've got
brain blasted." I'm gonna torture this man.
He fucking deploys his thrusters and flies off down the road.
Yeah, and so Optimus sees the thrusters and is like, "What are you doing, Bumblebee?" And he's like, "Using my head and my thrusters."
Oh my.
And this is just grim.
Yes.
So, hey, do you know what good guys do? Good guys tase old men and then make them run until they die.
Yes. Like, you know, I feel
Yeah,
I feel like
it was-
Raven inflicted some fates about as bad as this in some episodes of Teen Titans.
Yeah, it was legit fucked up what he did to this old guy, to this guy.
Raven can get away with it because she's an e-girl.
That's
Yeah.
true.
She's allowed.
Raven, all time, like, goth girl awakening.
Bumblebee is
Hall of
not a goth girl, and so this is a war crime. Yeah, he forces Nanosec to run until he literally becomes like 1 billion years old and like can't move anymore. So that he's dealt with, but the Destronium is still about to explode. So we should and Ratchet says that the only place to detonate it safely is in like the upper atmosphere, like basically in space. But they're Autobots, and so none of them can fly.
Yeah, so I will give it to them that Bumblebee not transforming with the thrusters at least made sense for this part of it, where they're like, well, let's try it. Fuck it. Shoulder mounts, let's go.
Yeah, they basically do like a multi-stage launch version
Yeah.
of a fastball special to like get him into escape velocity. So Bulkhead hucks him. So it's amazing. So Prowl is carrying him like a cat, and then both of them are standing on Bulkhead's fist. And then Bulkhead launches the wrecking ball, so they both go flying. Prowl uses his like jetpack to boost them further, and then he throws Bumblebee, who then activates the launcher or the thrusters to then yeet the Destronium into space. And then it explodes, and he begins to plummet uncontrollably out of orbit. Thankfully, Ratchet and Prime stop him from being Iron Gianted. Prime uses the cum cannon in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
I assume that's why you picked this episode for me to watch, Audrey.
Listen.
Hey, you picked this episode for you to watch based on your availability, my friend.
Fuck, did I? Oh, there you go.
Look, he literally gave Starscream a facial in the pilot episode of this series. So like, this is not primo cum cannon usage here.
Ugh.
But yeah, so he and Ratchet team up to like Ratchet slows his descent, and then Optimus uses the foam cannon to like cool off his red hot metal body. Also, all of the paint has been stripped off of Bumblebee's body by reentry. He's like gray now.
I assume that was like a reference to the end of Transformers the movie.
Well, that's like that's like the end of the first act.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this universe, Cybertronians do turn gray when they die, because Optimus, of course, briefly died in the pilot episode.
Optimus death counter 1.
As Optimuses are wont to do. So he's okay. I love this scene where Megatron and Sundak are watching the news and watching the extremely elderly Nanosec get arrested. And Sundak goes, how the hell did he get that super suit? Megatron just goes, I think it's an inside job.
Dun dun. Imagine if he just like the entire plot broke and he just started scrutinizing Megatron seriously about how it's like, was it you? The entire plot line for the rest of the season gets derailed by this.
It's a good thing Sundak is very stupid.
Right? I was like, this is all very convenient.
I like and all the Autobots return home, and Bumblebee or Prowl. I like this where Prowl goes up to Bumblebee and goes like, "Hey, you want to race back to the base?" Bumblebee goes, "You know what? I think me and Sari will walk this one. I'm good."
I noticed they didn't take the upgrade off of him. So does he have it in other episodes?
No,
Aw.
I don't believe. I could be wrong, but I don't think he keeps the thrusters.
Aw.
Actually, maybe he does. He doesn't use it in the next episode, but he doesn't really have a cause to. Anyway, yeah. Speaking of next episode, we're talking about this is the good one. This is Along Came a Spider.
Yeah.
Yes, I like this episode a lot more.
So it's Halloween time. This is your Halloween episode, by the way. We're like a month early, but fuck you.
It's Spooktember, as Jordan and I recorded our recorded our horror manga special yesterday, so we just called it Spooktember.
Look, the leaves are changing. The pumpkin spice is migrating back into the land. It's basically October.
Do not say these words to me. It is not even fall yet.
Yeah, I haven't sent my invites for my Halloween party yet.
Yeah, it is not even fall yet. I'm going on a summer vacation this weekend. Do not say these words to me.
Oh, where are you going?
Jersey Shore.
Oh, that still counts.
Yeah, along came the spider.
Sorry, Bulkhead, B, and Prime are at a pumpkin patch, attempting to pick out a nice big pumpkin, but Bulkhead just keeps crushing them. Perhaps you should have Bumblebee pick them up instead.
With those little baby twink arms?
I guess.
Come on now.
He can have Optimus do it. Well, I assume they would have Optimus do it. However, Optimus.
Ratchet.
Why are all these pumpkins metal? That
God,
make no sense.
I should do a Ratchet jack-o'-lantern.
Oh hell yeah!
That would be really cool.
Which one? This one or
this one?
Okay, he is.
It's only 3 lines.
That's true. But yeah, I love this because Sorry is basically telling him all about Halloween and trick or treating. Optimus just goes, I don't know. It's like it seems weird. Like, so you like to scare people and threaten them into giving you sugary treats? So he just goes, yeah.
It rules, actually.
And then Optimus gets distracted by something. He looks over there and he sees a big fake spider decoration over by the pumpkin patch, and he stares at it and he remembers.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of this is Optimus's answer to Thrill of the Hunt.
Exactly. So it's sometime in the past. So we got him. We got Sentinel Prime, owner of the largest chin in the galaxy.
Sentinel Prime, more like Sentinel fuck the Prime Directive.
Oh yeah, and an Autobot named Elita 1 have all landed on an organic planet.
Being the bad bitch I pulled with my huge chin.
Literally. Yeah. So
he literally looks like the Chad versus Virgin meme during this flashback.
Well, his voice actor is the Tick's voice actor, and so when they were designing Sentinel, they decided to just make him look like the Tick.
Oh, that's fantastic. The Tick, now that's a great show.
Yeah.
So they're all here because apparently there's a Decepticon warship that crashed here, and you know, Elita 1 wants to see it for like the history of it. Sentinel wants it because there's probably a huge stash of energon under
he's
there.
An evil freak.
And Optimus just says, I don't think we should be on this planet. It's off limits for a reason.
Yeah, so the Autobots have like a prime directive, like a la Star Trek, which is just like, don't interfere with organic planets. Yeah. And Optimus is like, they land, and Optimus is like, yep, this is organic, because there's webbing everywhere.
Yeah, the bad bitch I pulled by having huge chin, it seems like Sentinel and Elita, they're together. Yeah. They just go, come on, don't be a fucking wuss.
And he's like, it's my birthday. You wouldn't deny me. I'm just a little birthday girl. Come on.
Unfortunately, the choice is made for all of them because the fucking floor, the floor collapses underneath them, cave in, and they all get dropped into a big subterranean cave system.
Oops.
They hear some weird noises, and Optimus flips on his light, and he gets the shit scared out of him by Bulkhead wearing a KKK hood. I mean a bedsheet.
It's a spooky ghost.
And he gets freaked out and leaves. And Sorry just goes like, well, why is he so fucking spooked? And then she tells Bulkhead, hey, you need a bigger bedsheet. This isn't gonna work.
Yeah. By the way, one other thing I should say is while they're all landing there's incredible thruple energy from them.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Like, it's very clear that Sentinel and Elita 1 are together.
But
they're also both fucking Optimus. Or not fucking, because they don't fuck in this universe.
Maybe they just do it differently. Maybe it's like Avatar hair fucking. Like, maybe they just have it in a different way.
Yeah,
it was just the particular technique that Optimus was so shocked about.
Maybe it's just spark sex.
Maybe
they just literally open their hearts to each other, and it's a beautiful moment where they all merge and spit energy into each other's chests.
So everyone's back at base, and they're getting ready to go trick or treating. Bumblebee is Dracula. That's a classic. Now I have some concerns.
Isn't he Dracubot or something?
Yeah, he wants to suck your motor oil. I have some concerns about Bulkhead's costume.
About the fumigation tent?
Yes, about the fumigation tent that is still spewing chemicals.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Listen, it's only dangerous to organic life forms, so it's fine.
He has like a ring of fumigation fumes around him.
if you think about it, it kind of is a spoiler for later on in the series.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
If you think about it.
Look, irregardless of that, every kid on the street they pass should be like falling over on the fucking floor and convulsing and foaming at the mouth.
Yeah. But
yeah,
one,
so
one is very clearly not, is all I'm saying.
So he's a sheet ghost. He grabbed a fumigation tent, and also bugs, dead cockroaches just fall out of his fumigation tent constantly.
Mm-hmm. That's a real horror.
Yes. Optimus, however, is still being a little bit of a Halloween humbug. So, sorry to decide she's going to pull a little bit of a prank on him. She used the key to lower a spider down in front of him, and it fucking scares the shit out of him.
You know what I love about this episode in, like, comparison to Prey? Is that Black Arachnia / Arachnid be like, I'm haunting your nightmares forever.
Yep. For very different reasons.
You will never be rid of me.
Oh, my goodness.
He takes his axe to this stuffed spider. He brutalizes this spider.
Yeah.
I really appreciate this episode really goes into the psychological issues that Transformers face.
He does like a fucking hibachi trick on this spider.
Yeah, he does a fucking Zandatsu from Metal Gear Rising.
You feel it too, don't you, Jack?
Eats that thing's spine, and everyone just goes.
That's where the energon is.
Everyone just goes, "Hey, dude, are you good?" And he just goes up and tells Sorry, "Hey, don't use the key for stupid pranks. The Allspark didn't give that to you as a toy. We gave it to you for safekeeping."
And Sorry's kind of like, what would you know about it? It gave it to me, not you.
Anyway, I'm gonna go put my costume on real quick, and while she goes to do that, Optimus stares at the shredded spider, and yet again he remembers. Specifically, he remembers the time he and Lolita were ambushed by a gigantic spider. This thing is huge.
Yeah.
It's like the size of a house.
A small house, though.
It's like a
remember what the Autobot scale is in this show.
They're like the size of a mobile home. That's still not a spider I would want to see on the streets. No siree. This is where we see Alita's like unique ability. She apparently has she has kind of a busted ability, frankly.
Yeah. So she's sort of a rogue character.
Yeah, she can touch anyone and like use their abilities. She can either like
her ability actually has a name. It's called Download.
Yes. So she can download either their on-body attachments or download the ability to, like, use their weapons as skillfully as they do, right?
Yeah.
And she, like, instinctively brings that up, but Optimus goes, hey, that doesn't work in organic life. You're not going to be able to do anything with that. Thankfully, Sentinel is lying unconscious on the ground a few feet away because he immediately got his ass beat by this spider. So she just goes to grab his shield real quick and uses it to drop a stalag. Now, hang on. Tight? Is that the one on the top?
I believe so. Tight from the top and might from the bottom.
Yeah, he drops a stalactite on the spider, killing it instantly.
I'm probably totally wrong. Whatever. Get my ass. At me.
He drops the cave spike on the spider, and the spider goes splat. And Optimus.
I just have my cat kill them. Seems easier.
You need a big cat for that.
Where's Cheetor?
Where is he when you need him? And
Where's Ravage?
I very rarely need Cheetor. But yeah, so everyone gets up and Optimus just turns to him and goes, "Yeah, we should leave now, right?" And someone just says, come on. Imagine all the energon. It's just one spider. And then there are 3 spiders.
Sentinel Prime, you will never be famous. I hate your ass.
Sentinel decides to cover Optimus and Lita's retreat. Now, I don't understand how this happens because Elita just runs a completely different direction than Optimus drives. Also, what does she transform into? She never transforms in these flashbacks, so we never know what she transforms into.
She transforms into a strip of flypaper.
Yeah, what if she transforms into like a non-ambulatory object? Transforms into like a paperweight.
She's the rung.
Yeah,
she's the rung.
So yeah, that Optimus, he snaps out of that flashback, and we see Sari's Halloween costume. It's Optimus.
It's cute, but it's also like very energy. It's like, "Are you proud of me, Dad?" And
yes.
It's like, and Optimus is like, "Dad is having an out of body experience." Sorry.
Yes, sorry, Dad is dissociating pretty heavily right now. You're gonna have to get back to me. I do like that she is the I'm Optimus Prime, blah, 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 and he just goes, "I don't sound like that."
This is really good.
Do I? But the three head out to trick or treat. Get some candy. I wonder what the Autobots are getting out of this, right? Like, what treats do they have? Because we know, thanks to Transformers the movie, we know that the treats do exist.
There is actually someone created like Cybertronian candy using Dolly.
Really?
Yeah. Like generated a bunch of images of like Cybertronian, and it was things like, I'm trying to think of what it was, but it was like rust jellies and like oil biscuits or something, stuff like that.
But it's still just Reese's Cups. Just everyone just loves those.
Well, the funny thing about the Reese's Cup is that every technologically advanced society throughout the universe eventually invents the Reese's Cup in one way or another.
Yeah, exactly. You've heard of carcinogenization, so this is the same thing, except it's Reese's Cups.
Every confectionery eventually turns into a Reese's Cup.
Right, it evolves into a Reese's Cup, correct.
It's like how every society on Earth has like a flood myth. Every civilization, once they get advanced enough, does make a Reese's Cup of some kind.
It was interesting, actually. We just covered that in Shonen Flop, a flood myth story, where my friend who does research for the show found out it's because of all the flooding that happened a few thousand years ago across the planet, as there was kind of like an end of a soft ice age.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so prevalent, which I thought was really interesting.
And most early civilizations settled near rivers, and so flooding would have been very frequent.
Mm-hmm.
And a bad flood can really fuck your shit up when you're in the fucking Bronze Age. So, yeah, but they're trick-or-treating. Unbeknownst to them, however, they are being stalked by a gigantic robotic spider. Whoops.
Well, it doesn't remain unbeknownst to them, to all of them, for very long.
Yeah, I love this. So they go to their first house, and Bumblebee looks up and sees a gigantic spider climbing on top of it, and it starts freaking out, obviously. And then Bulkhead looks up, and it's not there anymore.
This is I don't even know. This is like the Twilight Zone of Transformers.
It is.
That would have been cool if this entire episode was in black and white.
Briefly, it is a Twilight Zone episode where Bumblebee is like, I saw it. I saw a gremlin. I saw a spider on the edge of the plane.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great reference.
But so I love this bit where Bumblebee is like telling them all about the giant spider, and then Optimus, who has been listening into their comms, radios and goes, "Hey, wait, can you describe that again?" And Bumblebee does.
Just like, yeah. Well, first Bumblebee's like, "What the fuck, dude? Have you just been listening to us this entire time?"
That's kind of creepy, bro.
It's even better. He repeats it first, then he pauses for a while, and he goes,
"Yeah,
wait, have you been listening into our comms this whole time? Why?" And Optimus just says, "I'm on my way. Don't move."
No, Optimus, I don't mean to tell you your business, but what the fuck, my man?
Yeah.
Why don't you transform into someone who's not so fucking weird?
So he's tearing up the road, and he once again remembers. Optimus is the one to find the crashed Decepticon warship back on Spider Planet. And yeah, there is a gigantic stockpile of Energon cubes within. And he also sees some weird white orbs, and he goes, "That's weird. I've never heard of an Energon orb before."
It's weird that you don't recognize these. Have you not seen Dark of the Moon?
Oh
Sorry,
yeah,
Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah, Revenge of the Fallen. That's all the eggs. That's all the eggs.
You've
That's
really made sacrifices for your Transform knowledge if you've seen all of the Michael Bay films.
Oh, I saw the last 3 in theaters.
Oh, you poor thing.
I've still never seen The Last Night. Somehow, I've managed to avoid it. I have seen all of the others though, at least twice each. I couldn't tell you why.
I couldn't tell you what happened in it. All I remember of The Last Night, literally, is the last scene in it.
Where he goes to. Oh no, that's the
No. The
The
Unicron.
Yes,
the Unicron reveal. Where it's like, I was like, oh, this would actually be cool if you ever did anything with it, and then they proceeded not to.
Yep. So yeah, you find there. Of course, it's a huge spider nest, and the eggs start hatching. Elita 1 catches up, and she goes, "Okay, where? So this is where you went? Oh God, that's a lot of spiders."
Yeah, great googly moogly.
Yeah, so they got to get out of there. Thankfully, Energon is pretty volatile, so they're able to blow some of these cubes up. Also, Elita nabs Optimus's grappling ability, and he goes, "All right, remember, we got to be quick because that doesn't last forever." And she goes, "Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't worry. Nothing traumatic will happen to me at all."
I will definitely survive this. I'm taking a big bite of cereal, and I'm going to survive this.
So they're scaling up. They're blowing up all these Energon piles behind them. They're grappling away. They're home free, and then the download effect fades, and Elita fucking plummets directly back into the spider nest, which is also exploding.
And she died forever.
And then before Optimus can go back, the explosion starts getting worse. Sentinel arrives and goes, "Oh my God, we have to go back for her." But
yeah, so now we understand a little bit about Sentinel's deal.
Yeah, because as we see here,
he blames Optimus for losing the bad bitch he pulled with his giant chin.
Yeah, so they get topside, and immediately after that, Sentinel goes, "All right, we got to go back." And then they turn around, and there's just a fucking gigantic fireball bursting out of the earth. Optimus scans for Elita's life signs and finds nothing.
Yeah. Now, they still would have gone back if they had found Elita's life signs.
Yes.
But they're like, oh, she's dead. And Sentinel's like, fuck you, dude.
Which,
trusting that whack-ass technology.
Is it fair? No. It's obviously mostly Sentinel's fault that they're here in the first place. But, Sentinel is just that kind of guy. And he's held a grudge against Optimus ever since, pretty clearly. And I would imagine that this is probably the event that caused Optimus to, wash out of the Autobot Academy.
Oh, yeah. Listen, one part of his thruple's dead, and the other part of his thruple hates his guts, so...
Yep. Guess I gotta go be a space bridge technician on the edge of the world. Oh,
you gotta ghost... The only way to get out of that is to fully ghost them.
Back in the present, Bumblebee is still really afraid of that giant spider. And Bulkhead goes, "I don't know, man. Giant alien life forms coming to Earth in secret and walking among the populace? Oh, wait. Hang on a minute. I forgot what show I was in briefly. Sorry about that."
Yeah. Literally, they're like, we're here.
Yeah.
We are here.
And they're like, "All right, we'll keep our scanners on high alert and we'll catch any suspicious activity." And as they are talking, Sari gets webbed up and dragged slowly towards the spider.
But it's chill.
It's fine. They get her free pretty easily, and then Black Arachnia transforms into robot mode.
Whoa.
And this is the point where she's like, "You wouldn't. I'm just a little guy. You wouldn't hit a little guy, and it's my birthday."
Yo, I'm just a poor helpless little lady. And then she makes Bulkhead so horny his jaw falls off.
And then she knocks his ass out.
Yes, she stabs him with her weird, spider
She downloads
spikes.
him.
She downloads him, but because obviously this is Elita 1, unlike when she was Elita 1 where she just touches you, this time she drains your life force along with it. So
Well, no, she does a download she does a download and also an upload, and the upload is poison.
Yeah, she paralyzes you. This is Black Arachnia's proper debut. She was in the first episode very briefly in sort of silhouette, and you might have noticed that she's a fair bit smaller than most of the other Decepticons in this show, and that's because she was not originally a Decepticon, as we'll learn later. But
we already learned that.
Yeah. Well, we will learn it.
Sure. Okay,
Over the course
yes.
of this episode, we will learn it. But we, the audience and us on the podcast, know it. Anyway, all right. Spider Lady robots over the course of Transformers have always been, shall we say, smoke shows.
Yes.
This black Arachnia is like, they really went all out on this one in terms of the we're making this one hot.
In terms of the dump truck ass, you really
Yes.
think this is the one, not Arachnid?
Okay, well she's different. That's not Black Arachnia. I am just talking about Black Arachnia.
You said the spider bots.
I said spider bots are usually the sexy femme fatales, but I was comparing her mostly to Beast Wars Black Arachnia.
Okay. Well, yes, obviously she's the hotter one of those two.
Yeah, because unfortunately, Beast Wars is stuck being a mid '90s CGI show.
I don't think there's a single character rendered in Beast Wars style.
And unfortunately, in Beast Machines, Black Arachnia looks like that. So this one is definitely this is the sexy one. Also, it doesn't hurt that she is voiced by Cree Summer.
Oh yes.
And she is really putting just oozing the sensuality in this role here. So yeah, she stabs Bulkhead, she stabs Bumblebee, and she goes, "Sorry." It's like, "All right, it's okay. I've stopped the bad robots." And Sorry just goes, "Fuck you. They were my friends."
Yeah, what I really like about this episode is it takes on the again, I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but the femme fatale Powerpuff Girls villain kind of thing, where
Yes.
she's like, "Don't worry, I got rid of the men. We're good now."
Yeah.
And she meets it this isn't a trick. She's genuinely I have saved this young girl from these evil Autobots.
Yeah. And so she's trying to get Sorry to give her the key, because Sorry is trying to reboot Bulkhead with it, but Black Arachnia says, "Oh no, my venom is organic, so the Allspark won't work on it. But maybe if you give it to me, I can help you."
Let me try anyway.
And that's when Optimus arrives to sort of stop Black Arachnia. And of course, Black Arachnia recognizes him instantly. She goes the rumors are true.
The rumor comes out.
So, okay, at some point during this...
Is Optimus's prime?
Is it this fight or the fight they have later where she says this fucking thing about him wanting to give her a face full of foam?
Oh, shit.
Did you not catch that? She literally goes,
No.
I know how badly you want to give me a face full of foam. And I paused for a minute. I was like, wait, what?
No, I did not.
What is happening here?
I mean, that's half the art of making the show is what can you get away with.
Oh yeah, and that someone was proud of that line. I think it might be on the rooftop where she says this. It's
It might be.
I know how badly you want to give me a face full of foam, but I gotta bounce. So yeah, she fights. So by the way, one thing is that along with Bumblebee's stingers, she has also stolen Bulkhead's strength. So she is lifting Optimus up with one arm and tossing him around the fucking neighborhood.
Well, there's a moment, a really nice moment actually, where she goes to do way more damage to Optimus. She has she has him by the throat, and then she looks into his eyes and
she can't
softens
do it.
softens and wrestle throws him instead.
Yeah, she can't. She's going to drain. She's going to stab him with the venom, but she can't do it. But she can kidnap the child, so she does that.
And she does it. Spider-Bot
Yes.
does what non-organic bots cannot.
Yeah, she's literally Spider-Manning around Detroit. I love that, Star's like, you fucking wait. Optimus is going to get up here and he's going to chop you into tiny little pieces, and and then she just
Well,
sprays...
no, I want to be very, very specific about what words Sorry uses. She says, into itsy bitsy pieces.
Yes, with his axe, and then Black Arachnia just gags her with some webbing. Just goes, "Shut up! Holy shit!" Optimus
Fuck
does
girl power.
Yeah, never mind.
Jesus.
Optimus does manage to intercept them, and they land on a roof here, and then he kind of frees. No, he doesn't free. No, he does free. Sorry, that's right. Briefly.
Right.
So this is when they start fighting. I really like this fight scene they have here. There's a lot of good poses that they do.
Yeah. There's
Like-
something very dance-like about Black Arachnia's moves.
Yes, very much so. And you know, she says, she knows all his moves, and he's like, wait a minute, I've never met you before, unless. And she goes, that's right, I'm your ex-girlfriend, and let me tell you how I survived. And so we flash back during the explosion. This is like legitimately horrifying, by the way.
Yeah, like I said, if you had a transformation or inflation fetish before watching this episode, now you don't.
So out of
Now you don't.
desperation,
Sorry.
out of desperation, surrounded by these gigantic spiders in the middle of a cave-in, she tried to use her ability on them, right as a bunch of them stabbed her with venom, and so she downloaded the organic venom, which causes her to like balloon up in weird organic meaty bits.
It kind of looks like Thrust dying. Actually.
It does. I need to get that.
It's
that reminds me,
bad. We need that emoji.
I've got the picture saved. I just gotta bring his beautiful face to life. So yeah, she like was warped into this like techno organic form by this accident. And Optimus realized that the reason he couldn't detect her life signal is because her organic half was like interfering with his scanners. And he's like, listen, if either of us had detected you, we would have gone back to you in a heartbeat. And she's like, oh yeah. And I would have gone back with you and I would have ended up on Cybertron. I would have been chopped up on a fucking experimentation table.
Listen, I know what kind of scientists are on Cybertron.
I've met Perceptor. That guy talks with fucking like Microsoft Sam voice.
G-Axis may not be in this universe, but fuck buddy.
Well, as far as we know, he might be out there somewhere.
The horrifying thought.
So yeah,
Animated G-Axis. Christ, sorry.
So she goes like, yeah, I didn't want to go back with the Autobots, so I decided, why not throw my lot in with the Decepticons? Because at least I know where I stand with them.
It is really interesting in the Transformers comics how the Decepticons literally are like the culture of the people, and they're kind of I'm trying to think of a good way to say it, but they're essentially like, what if unions were evil?
Well, in IDW specifically, they started as this proletariat revolution, and then things got out of control.
The issue with the proletariat revolution is that it was for Cybertronians and Cybertronians only.
Yes.
And Megatron's like, what if we did a genocide now?
What if we created a vast Cybertronian empire again? And what if it was for Cybertronians only? And what if we started cyberforming planets again? Like, you know?
Yeah, Cybertron by the people for the people, but the people are only Cybertronians.
Yeah. Horseshoe theory is a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this aspect of Black Arachnia's character, the sort of conflicted loyalty, is something that she even had in Beast Wars, because Black Arachnia in Beast Wars is a maximal protoform that was hacked by Predacons, and so you know, she has these like a foot in each world, and I'm glad they kept that aspect of her character here. Then she grabs the key from Sari and reveals like, oh yeah, actually, you know that thing I said about the key being unable to affect organic matter? Yeah, that was bullshit. I lied. And she plugs it into her chest and says, all right, I'm going to purge my organic half forever. And this, okay, so this is like... imagine the scene. Like, we don't see any footage of like the people of Detroit in this. We only see Liev Schilling, but just imagine what's happening right now as this wave of decay just blasts out from Black Arachnia and it instantly withers Sari into like a fucking old baby.
And Sari's so betrayed by this. Yeah, listen. Episodes that make you old.
We really had a theme this week, but yeah, she says,
but
I
Sari's
thought
so betrayed by this, and she's like, I thought you said that it wouldn't affect organics, and Black Arachnia's like, guess I lied.
Whatever. And then
Sucks
she
to suck.
she
Sucks to suck.
She eats Sari off the roof, Thankfully, Bulkhead and Bumblebee are there to catch her. So Bumblebee catches her by having Bulkhead yeet him up. He transforms into car mode and like falls down, but like all his tires just explode and his airbags go off.
Yeah, I was like, this does not seem... I'm like, couldn't Bulkhead have like
Caught him.
Got into him by that point.
Like, surely you didn't need to fall that hard. But regardless, you imagine everyone in Detroit becoming old. That's what happened here. Like, we don't see any of it, but just like all of those trick-or-treaters are just like writhing on the ground, collapsing into piles of flesh.
Just the children just slowly becoming men and just
they all look
destroying their costumes.
They all look like fucking that one guy from Meltdown, Colossus Rhodes. Just a bunch of shriveled old prune people. But thankfully, before that can go any further, Optimus tries to get the key out of Black Arachne because turns out you cannot purge the organic half of your like form without killing you because it's a part of you. And so she's dying. So he manages to reach out and pluck it out of her neck, which thankfully reverses all of the aging waves. Be real bad if it didn't.
I was legit expecting this to be a two-parter, and I was gonna be like, Audrey, this is a bit of a weird combination of episodes you picked for me.
If it was a two-parter, we probably would have done both parts. We don't like to split
we
those
definitely
up.
would have done. We definitely would have done both parts.
But this is when the more of the thruple energy comes up because like now Optimus is like holding Black Arachne all tender and the music is coming up and he goes like, "Stay with me."
You know that Tara Strong video where she's like, "I have something to tell you. Come closer."
Yes.
Closer. I'm a 12-year-old boy.
Yep, that's what happened. So yeah, he's like, "Please, just stay with me, stay with me, Alita. We'll find a cure together."
She goes, "Optimus, come closer.
Yep, stabs him with the spider spikes, steals his grappling hook. But yeah, I do like him going like, "I want to earn back your trust." You know, like
yeah.
And she responds, "You know, it's gonna take me a really long time to ever trust an Autobot again, especially you."
Yeah, don't trust a hoe, never trust a hoe. Don't trust a hoe, don't trust her.
And she escapes. We later see Optimus returning Sari's key in the pumpkin patch, and I like them going like, you know, they're basically like, so you know, you're supposed to say trick or treat. And it's a cute little scene where Sari goes like, "Yeah, maybe I shouldn't use the key for like jokes. It was gifted to me by God." I should maybe.
I mean, not my God, but a God. So.
A God. And, you know, surely she will take this to heart in the future. Please don't look at
I'm sure.
Please don't look at the next episode.
Yeah. I
Is
think
it just called Sorry fucks everything up with the key?
Might as well.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I mean, in general, I would say that everyone's really, really good about internalizing the lessons they learn episode to episode.
I feel like Sari does get better at it over time, and I think even in the next episode, she's like, "Well, I probably shouldn't use this," but she does it anyway because she is 12.
I do like the last thing that happens here is that like Bumblebee hobbles over to her with all his burst tires and be like, "Can I convince you to use it one more time, please?"
Please help! I'm in so much pain. He basically got like 4 compound fractures, fucking falling from the sky.
all of his silicon injections in his tits and ass burst.
And Bulkhead goes, "Hey Optimus, who was that like crazy hot spider lady?" And he goes, "Someone I never should have left behind." And, you know, I like this ending because, you know, one thing I've always appreciated about shows that like respect their target audience is that some shows are like, "No, listen, sometimes you end an episode on a fucking bummer note, all right?" Like here, where we just cut to Black Arachne like sobbing on a rooftop because she's fucking alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. Sometimes you
I
gotta
mean,
do
I know
that.
I know that feel.
It's like the
Yeah,
ending
who
of
could ever love a monster like her?
It's like the ending of book 3 of Korra, where it's just like, yeah, the ending is just zooming in on Korra's
Yeah, that's right. She's just in like a wheelchair.
crying. Like, yeah, sometimes you just gotta end it on a fucking sad note, and you don't gotta like do a last little upbeat.
To be fair, there's like no other note that they really could have ended on if they wanted Black Arachnia to be a recurring character.
For sure.
And
they do.
They did.
So yeah, she's just around now on Earth. That's probably fine. Yeah, that's Along Came a Spider. Yet again, another pairing of like, yeah, this one's the Teen Titans episode. This one delves deeper into the characters' like backstory and trauma. Yeah, so like that's our episodes for this week. We have some fucking questions, including, this is exciting, we got one on Twitter.
Did we really?
We got one on Twitter.
Huh.
I know. It's crazy.
What do you know? Let's do that one first.
That's right. Marauding Captain Z Mama Yamcha on Twitter asks, which bots on both sides go absolutely ham for those silly/shitty rings they put on cupcakes, like those crappy plastic spider rings?
I feel like Bumblebee's the only one.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bumblebee for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, actually Blitzwing. But just random.
Yeah, the fucking random Blitzwing is all over those. Absolutely. It's like, ooh, look at them. I am all blinged out. And he's got like ring pops and spider rings and all that shit.
Icy wakes up to their hands covered in plastic and is like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I could also see Hot Rod just flexing it.
All right. In the Discord, we have a bunch more questions. Black Arachnia Lovebot asks, if we take IDW's gender explanation as canon to animated, is Alita 1's choker a gender affirmative mod? Which I assume Cass is talking about the explanation in Lost Light and not the explanation that Simon Furman had put forward.
Yes, the explanation in Lost Light being they explored out, they discovered gender in other places. They're like, this rules actually, and I'm a woman.
I would like to be that.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to say yes. I choose to believe that is also the case in animated's universe, because there's no evidence to suggest otherwise.
Well, I mean,
I don't think
unless it's
the one case you're probably thinking of is an outlier.
No, I'm not thinking of another case. I'm just saying, what if the choker is instead like Liz Truss's O-ring? Sentinel put it.
I'm sorry, what?
You don't know about Liz Truss's O-ring necklace?
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't think I want to know about Liz Truss.
So Liz Truss, so everyone has been discussing about whether like the actual compelling argument that Liz Truss is in like a semi-public BDSM relationship with her husband, because she has like a legitimate O-ring necklace that she's seen wearing in like every photo that has been taken of her in like the last 6 months, and people are like, that's just a day collar.
Britain, you gotta get your shit together. I don't know what the hell's going on over there, but like...
And there's also the stuff about the affair she had with the MP and how like she had to repair the relationship with her husband after that, and like what anyway, there's like really compelling evidence that Liz Truss is wearing a day collar is all I'm gonna say. Well,
Black Arachnia Lovebot also asks thoughts on Alita 1's different design than her usual one. This is a very different Alita 1. Most Alita 1s, they got the pink, they got the horns. This one is like, I like this design. It's not reminiscent of any Alita ones that I know of, though.
I mean, the design does very little for me, but that's because the design isn't supposed to do anything.
Exactly. It's
because she's supposed to turn into Black Arachnia. So it's like, I don't think it's as strong as almost any other Alita one, but it's not supposed to be, so fine.
Exactly. Also from Black Arachnia Lovebot, any other special abilities that could have terrible unforeseen consequences?
I mean, any?
I feel like Ratchet magnets are dangerous, and I feel like some bad shit could happen if Ratchet's not careful, which thankfully he is.
And we've also already seen what happens when his outlier abilities are misused for evil.
Right.
So.
That's right. When, Bishop from Wayland Yutani just steals it and uses it to chloroform people. Let's see. If you were put on a teleporter with some animal, which would you hope it to be? Frilled lizard.
My specific cat.
Oh God. I mean, if you can fit him on the teleporter, he's pretty big.
Shut up. Leave my oversized cat
Listen,
alone.
I used to have a very big cat. I used to have a cat who was about your cat size or bigger. He was a big motherfucker. He was so big that people would regularly comment on, like, that's a really big cat whenever people would visit my house. And I would always think, well, surely he's not that big, because I didn't really regularly interact with any other cats. And then one day I interacted with another cat and went, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh, that's what a cat's supposed to look like.
What is this animal? What is this beast living in my home?
Yeah.
He had a big primordial pouch. That was his big thing.
You got any, David?
No, unfortunately not.
You wouldn't want to get combined with any animal in some kind of horrible teleporter experiment?
Besides the ones I've already been combined with. I mean, I would say it would be nice to be merged with a capybara, just because maybe it would give me a sense of mindfulness, you know?
There you go. Just chill vibes. That is the capybara's, like, evolution, as it just became the chillest animal in existence.
Yeah.
Comrade Q asks, if the TFA cast had beast modes instead of the regular alt modes, what do you think they'd be?
Bumblebee would be a bee.
That's right. He'd be one of the big Minecraft bees.
Bumblebee, I think... Bulkhead, I think we discussed being an elephant, right?
Yes.
Last time?
Or a hippo. Just something, like, large and sort of clumsy.
I mean, Optimus would be a gorilla.
I don't think this... I think this
I
Optimus...
I actually do. So I was going to say, not just because of Beast Wars, but because of his, like, shape.
Right.
He has the, like, shoulder to waist ratio of a gorilla.
But consider this. What about a lion? You know, like a heroic, golden-hearted lion. Prowl as a panther.
Or some form of big cat.
Yeah. And Ratchet, we've already discussed him looking like an old cat, so he's Grumpy Cat.
Yes.
He's like an elderly, battle-scarred tiger or something. Aurora Animated asks, what is your ideal Transformers Halloween costume?
I mean, I guess my Starscream cosplay.
Yeah, I was about to say you actually have a Transformers costume. I don't know if I have an ideal one. I don't know. Whichever one. Cyclonus, I guess. I'd be Cyclonus because I like him. What would your non-Transformers Halloween costume be? I haven't worn a Halloween costume in, like, years.
I usually just wear whatever cosplay I've been working on, but I'm going to be too lazy to do that this year, so...
I don't know. What about you, Davey?
Sorry, you broke up for a second. What was the question? My girlfriend just got home, so she was making a little bit of noise.
What would your non-Transformers Halloween costume be? And also your Transformers Halloween costume.
So, that's a good question. I'm trying to remember what I'm going for as this year. I think one of my favorites was I don't even know. So to be perfectly honest, I actually don't like dressing up for Halloween despite throwing Halloween parties. So my girlfriend always makes me dress up as something, so I'll have to ask her and get back to you about what I'm doing this year. I would say as a Transformer, I definitely think it would be fun to go with Starscream, because it would just be great to really know what it's like to constantly feel like betraying everyone at all time.
I will say, I've never been more popular at a con than when I cosplayed Starscream.
Ah, there you go.
That was definitely the most photos I've ever gotten taken of myself. And I had a shitty paper crown that I brought with me. I asked if... And whenever
Burger King crown?
I was thinking, I tried to get a Burger King crown, but I couldn't find one, so I just got, a similar concept, yes. Mm-hmm. Whenever someone asks to take a photo, I ask crown or no crown.
Yeah. Alright, it also asks, is the reason spiders lend themselves to being sexified the webs? It's gotta be the webs, right? Yes.
It's also like, okay, this is gonna sound fucked, so I'm sorry about that. But it is like the like body shape. It like spiders have something that is very close to like an hourglass body shape. That is true.
Spiders, and it's sort of across the species do have fat dumpies.
Yeah. So that sounds fucked to say. Like, I don't want to fuck a spider, but like if you are using an animal as an inspiration for something, then going by general shape, like, its shape does lend itself to sexier designs more than a lot of other animals do.
The webs definitely also don't hurt. Also, like, certain spiders have like the black chitin, so it's like, ooh, it's like shiny leather gloves or something. Like the James and the Giant Peach spider lady.
And I think there's something in, like, at least in the US and I think in English speaking countries in general, about like the associations that spiders have with like femme fatale stuff. Like the fact that the most dangerous one's called a black widow.
Yeah.
You know, like there are all these associations with spiders that are specifically about like female archetypes. So
Daphnis asks, what would be this roster of Autobots' favorite autumn things? All right,
all of them.
Like which
apple
one
cider
of the
donuts.
There we go. I mean, that's just if you're a human, you enjoy apple cider donuts. Now here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Which one of them is the pumpkin spice fiend?
Secretly, it's Prowl.
Oh my, I was also going to say secretly Prowl. I think both.
Not secretly it's Bumblebee.
Yes.
But secretly it's Prowl.
Oh, do not give that boy caffeine. He does not need it.
You don't have to do a PSL. There's other pumpkin spice things.
That's true. He keeps trying to order pumpkin spice lattes, but Prowl keeps swapping his out for decaf. Bumblebee does not know this.
What he gets instead is froth milk with just pumpkin spice syrup in it.
Yeah. Aurora Animated actually has a good question here. Hey, so how do allegiance symbols work? Is there like a guy who sells them? Is there just a guy who is paid to weld it on? Well, in Animated in particular, in a future episode, we will see the ritual of the Deceptibrand.
Yeah.
So that should give you a clue as to at least how the Decepticon badge is applied. And she also asks, did Doubleface have to go to 2 different places to get the emblem on both forms? Well, I think he was simply gifted that by his Dark Master Unicron.
Yeah, the devil gave him badges.
Yeah. I've got the hookup. Don't worry. Romulus Prime asks, crossover. If you had to do a crossover with Transformers Animated and another lost robot cartoon that got canned too soon, there's a lot, what would you choose? And what would the crossover episode be about? I think the best fit is My Life as a Teenage Robot.
I think that's really good for TFA, but my vote is for Symbiotic Titan.
Oh, that's also a good. I think that also had some crew from this work on it, I believe.
I'm not surprised. It was like around the same era.
I think that was another Derek J. Wyatt show, if I'm not mistaken.
It was Gendy Tartakovsky.
Oh, it was.
It was Gendy Tartakovsky.
That dude has had some pretty nasty luck with shows getting canceled earlier, but as a result, he's become like, he has infinite cachet, basically, because he's the guy who made Samurai Jack, so he can do whatever he wants. Although someone's like, yeah, sure, you can make your hyper-violent, dialogue-free dinosaur writing show, you're Gendy Tartakovsky. He slaved away in the Hotel Transylvania mines for years to get the opportunity to do that. Black Arachnia Lovebot asks, do you think Black Arachnia wanting to rid herself of part of her is a metaphor for something? No, what could it possibly be a metaphor
None of
for?
us are trans here. Why don't we save the last couple questions for next week, since I know David has to get going.
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be much appreciated.
All right.
Okay, well, David, thank you for coming on. Where can we find you?
You can find me on the internet. No, you can find us every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. We are Shonen Flop. That's SHONENFLOP. You can find us on Twitter at ShonenFlopcast or our website, ShonenFlop.com. And thank you again so much for having me on your show. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. I'm Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr and Twitter at Optimum on Prime. That's my funny robot internet joke. You can also listen to the other podcast I do called Pot of Greed. That's about Yu-Gi-Oh! And you can find that on at Pot of Greed Cast on Twitter. You can also listen, give a couple dollars to the Moonshot Network, so you can listen to the things that I've guested on the Moonshot Network. I just recorded a couple episodes last week of Champs in the Making, a Pokemon Showdown bracket, and got to be on for episode 69, which was the funny Champs After Dark episode.
I'm Nero. You can find me on Twitter at Dragon Smoocher. You can find my various other projects in various other places, such as Radio Free Heidelin, a comprehensive Final Fantasy XIV online podcast I do with my friend Jane. That is at Heidelin Radio. I also did a show about the 2018 She-Ra Netflix series with her. That is at Podcast of Power. And I'm sometimes on Disney Minus Pod for the actual movie episodes, not the Kingdom Hearts stuff. Latest episode is The Incredibles. Next up on the show is going to be The Rescuers.
Another good one.
Yeah, sort of a lesser known one. I think it's kind of faded into obscurity compared to a lot of other animated Disney. But yeah, and of course, you can find us, the podcast, on Twitter at BrianCutsPod, and a link to our Discord in the link in our bio there, where you can join in for semi-sporadic Jackbox nights. And of course, I will be streaming Revenge of the Fallen after this season is done. God help me. And all of you, frankly. But until then, I am going to see a lady so hot my jaw unhinges and crumbles away to the floor, and then transform and roll out to the emergency room.
I'm going to go to the beach that makes me old. Transform and roll out.
I am going to go say hello to my girlfriend who just got home 10 minutes ago.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Beach.
Peach.
Beach.